Okay, so as of now, at the moment, there are a lot of people going on saying that carbohydrates is sugar, or that sugar is carbohydrates, and that which is a carbohydrate, if you eat it, is going to turn into sugar. You see, how can something which is 100% registered as being a carbohydrate be sugar when it has no sugar in it? And similarly, how can something that's registered as having 100% sugars in it be also registered at the same time as being a carbohydrate? It's impossible. It's either one way or the other. If it's 100% sugar, then it's not a carbohydrate, it's sugar. If it's 100% carbohydrate, it can't be sugar, it's a carbohydrate. Now, they say that if you eat any carbohydrate, it turns into sugar. But yet, they're not going to say that if you eat sugar, it turns into carbohydrate, because they're saying that it is a carbohydrate. Now, the question is, why are they saying that sugar is a carbohydrate for? Is a question. Why? Well, I figured out something, and I'm pretty certain I've got the answer to this. Okay. Flour and white rice is mistranslated as bleached food when it's not. It's not bleached, and you might say, oh, what has that got to do with sugar? Well, sugar, refined sugar cane is bleached. The raw sugar cane is bleached to make refined sugar cane. That's what is refined sugar cane. That's the process to refine sugar cane. So what happened is they see the flour, the white flour, and then they see the white rice, and then they see the refined white sugar cane, and they automatically put them in the same category because they say white next to it. See, this is it's unforgivable. This is stupid. Okay, you got not only that mistranslation, but they further on go to say that because it's white, it's been bleached. Well, the truth is it hasn't been bleached, or at least the flour, the white flour, and the white rice, it hasn't been bleached at all. Okay, what happens to the wheat grain before it is becomes flour? It's polished. Okay, the bran off that grain has to be polished. Okay, for it to be safe to consume, because the bran has a lot of bad minerals in it. And not only that, underneath the bran to every grain of wheat or rice, it is always white. It's called the endosperm. It is white. So yeah, the bran is polished off the endosperm in order for it to be edible to eat, or else it's not really edible. That's why it takes forever to cook. Have you ever tried cooking? Firstly, have you ever tried cooking a wheat grain, a grain of wheat, whether with the bran or the bran off, the wheat grain? If you've ever tried cooking a wheat grain, you would know it takes forever to cook. So that's why first it's floured, because maybe that's got a bread thing there. But if you want to try rolled wheat, you can try rolled wheat. It's the same as rolled oats. Oats and wheats, they're in the same. If you study the grains, they're in the same category of grains in terms of appearance and texture. They're the same, from the same family. You got barley, oats, wheat, spelt. They're all in the same family of grain. Okay. Now, why would one roll an oat but they wouldn't roll the wheat? Why would a person roll the oat but not roll the barley? You see, there's a misconception going on. Okay, there's people that do. You'll find one place in Victoria. You'll find only one or couple of places that have that. Okay, Victoria, where I live, you might find a couple of other places around. Only few people actually do that. You can purchase rolling machines to roll it. Anyway, going back to this bleaching thing. So yeah, the bran is polished off these grains. Okay, and so now rice. Go over to rice. If you've ever tried cooking rice with the bran on, or what's referred to as brown rice, it takes a very long time with the bran on to cook that rice. And if you've eaten it, I'm not talking about once in a week eating it either. And you say, no, you've eaten it before and it's all right. No, to eat something, you've got to be consistent at it every single day, day in and day out. That's called eating something, knowing something. Guaranteed you wouldn't be able to eat that every single day because it's dangerous. Okay, it's got arsenic in it, the bran. It's chewy, it's hard, it doesn't digest properly. You'd find yourself running to the toilet and sitting on the toilet like constantly all day. The stuff, it's not good for the body, alright? And also, there's very dangerous things where sometimes the husk is what comes before the bran. The husk, that husk can be almost as hard as aluminium. If that husk is not off and it is digested, it would rip your belly, your intestines to shreds, and you will be off to the doctors. And if you don't know what the cause of that is, you'd be on all sorts of medications. You might be even put into a hospital for operations because of that. If you don't see it, and if you don't know it, and let it wait a couple of days for it to pass through, if you continue eating it, it's going to cause very, very grievous damage. And this is what happens to the I've noticed it with the rice, because I've been there, I've tried the brown, I've tried it, I went through all of it. I even studied it, I had to know what I'm eating, and it didn't work out. I found out why, and now it didn't take me long either, and now I'm on the polished grain as everybody else is in the whole entire earth, basically, where it's eaten. It's obviously, why nobody eats it with the bran on. So, I've been there, alright, I've done my homework, and yeah. So I've come across bags that still have the husk in it, alright? And one of the last times I ate, I had to go through almost the whole bag to sift out to get rid of the husk, the bits that hadn't been polished properly, the husk off, because it's polished twice. Okay, first the husk has to be polished off, and then the bran is polished off, and then it leaves the endosperm, which has no further husk or roughage or bran or anything else there to be polished off, and that's it. That's the edible bit, all right? So yeah, yeah, be careful, because that happens. That happens a lot. It happens with oats too. The last time I had oats, I couldn't eat it because of the bits of husk and that were there, and it's sharp and it rips and tears your belly. And go look at it if you have some oats in there. Look to see if there's any in there, because guaranteed you'll get these flaky little hard sharp bits, and you'll say your belly can't digest that. And then you sift through it more, and you'll find them. It's there. It's all over the place. You might as well just eat something else. Find something that's soft and that's safe for your belly to digest. So yeah, so it's just be very cautious about what you're putting into your body, and be mindful, because them things are around, and that misconception is around. People they mistranslate things. It's a word. It's out there. And now, if everything's mostly bad at the moment on the earth, you know that, you know, most people are mistranslating things. Think about how many people say these things are bleached. They're not bleached. Okay? Go have a look. Go have a look at any method, and you can go look on purchase up polishing machines to purchase for, for that sort of thing. In Japan, they got them on the street. If you want to polish your rice, if you've accidentally purchased the one with the brand, they've got it's like emergency vendors. You can go put your rice in the machining, and the machine polishes it for you. Yeah, seriously, it's very, very serious. All right, so, be very, very careful of that, and be very, very careful, because that, it's around. This stuff, people are digesting this stuff, and I say before that, be consistent. If you've had something once to eat, it's not really eating it once a week. It's not really saying you've had it before. You know all about it. No, you got to be consistent about something to really know about it. Okay, to really become familiar with it. All right. So, So work on the routine, and become, perfecting your being and becoming a better person, because, you know, these are bad things that has to be overcome. There's a period. With the knowledge comes fulfillment. And thus, in respect of such, it must be a time for overcoming such, such evil, such nonsense that's out there, with the knowledge that is here. All right. So, and yeah, so also with rice, you might say, oh, you eat green rice or black rice or red rice, and you don't need to worry, because you eat listen, the green rice, the green bit is a green brand, the red bit is a red brand, there's black bran rice, there's red bran rice, there's green brown. That's the color of the brand. Okay, there's many varieties of shades of colors of rice bran. It's not only brown. Okay, brown is just basically, it's the main one that's out there. But with rice, there's a lot of different colors of rice, and the bran is the color of the rice. But inside the rice, every single grain of rice on the inside is all white. The endosperm is white. It's all white. Okay, it's only the bran that's got the colors on it. With the rice, with the wheat, you won't find a green bran wheat, or a red bran wheat, or a black bran wheat. It's with wheat, it's all the same. It's all it's all brown. People might say, oh, it's red wheat, but yeah, wheat is called red wheat at a certain time of year. But it's not actually. If you look at it, it's not actually red. It's like brownish red. It's brown. All right, so it's all brown in that family of grains. Oats, wheat, barley. It's all like brown, light brown. Barley's dark. Rye. Rye's dark. Rye's always dark. So, it's your different shades of brown there for that family. But the rice, it's like color. It's got the various colors of the spectrum. You got red. You got green. You got. Pretty sure there's purple even. There's black. There's a whole lot of them. In Japan, they got in their rice fields. They'll put all the black brown rices in the shape of some sporting person, or something to do something to make it fun to plant and to harvest the rice, and they'll surround it by the other color rices to make like a shape, and or something to say something, or to tell to tell a story or something, just to be to be funny, or to have something to do. So that's with rice. So with carbohydrate, you eat the carbohydrate. Okay, it doesn't become sugar in you. Okay, if you eat sugar, it becomes sugar. It's sugar. It's going to stay sugar. All right. It's not a solid. It's not a food. That's also the thing with sugar. You're not going to go chew on sugar. Yeah, they got lollies out there, but you're not really going to be chewing on lollies, are you? You know why? Because you're going to destroy your teeth. Okay. If anything, you should prohibit your life through having any lollies at all. If you wish to have a bit of sugar, I would suggest just honey. Just swallow some honey and drink with your drink. If you feel as if you need some sugar, to get around or something. Honey's the most, I found, honey, it it digests through the body. It breaks down because it's mostly fructose and glucose. It's not any sucrose. See, sugar cane is sucrose. It's another variety of sugar, which I just say it's bad for the heart. Okay, I went through my stage of eating the sugar, having the coffee with the sugars, and you have the sugar and this and that. And anyway, in studying sugars further and what varieties, what kind of sugar it is, what sugar is sugar cane, what's the main sugar in it. It's all sucrose, all right. Went the raw sugar cane, the brown sugar cane. The brown sugar cane is sort of like just dark raw sugar cane. It's like it's been boiled for longer to evaporate more water out of it or something, and then you got the dark one. It's more close to the molasses, which is somehow extracted in another way, but it's meant to be, it's meant to be the step before it's refined with the bleach. So I tried these ones. Bad, very bad too. As bad as, not as bad as well, actually, it was worse than the bleached one even. You know why? Because, gee, if you're suffering from heart attacks, see if you're eating raw sugar cane. I'm telling you, you're probably going to be going on a brown or raw sugar cane, and you can't breathe and your heart stopped and you can't. Listen, if that's happening to you right now, go drink a hot drink. Go to the tap and pour yourself and fill up a drink with the hot water. Don't make it too hot, make it hot enough so you can and flush it out. Okay, you got to drink it to flush your heart out, to clean it out. The only thing that gets rid of it is hot water. If you're suffering from a heart attack, just flush it out and just drink a few cups. Just drink as much as you can and let it flush out. Okay, you remember why, and don't let it happen again. If you can't help it happens again, well then you know what to do, because it happened to me a lot of times. I call it the year of the heart attacks. Okay, I was constantly having heart attacks, and it took me a while to realise where it was coming from. And I was running to the tap, turn on the hot water, fill up the cup with the hot water, and drink as much as I can. And yeah, break it up, break that area up in the middle, and flush it out and let it break up, and then you'll save yourself a trip to the hospital and open heart surgery and everything. I'm telling you, it's bad. It's very, very bad. Apart from that too, why should anybody really be having sugar? I found it only applicable in drinks if someone's going to have it. I've even noticed some bad effects even off honey, but honey's sort of, I'm sort of just dealing with it. It's it's all right, it gets me around. But anyway, so the sugar cane, the sucrose. So yeah, I went through very bad times with that, and that's what happened to me. And I had to quit, and I quit it, and I went to refined sugar cane after that, and I had to fucking think, okay, I'll just go to refined sugar cane and it'll be alright. So went there, and it still wasn't. It didn't taste good, and I found myself getting fevers, and I figured that was because of the bleach must have retained in the sugar, in the refining the sugar cane. And if you know about bleach is corrosive. So you have the bleach. If it's corrosive, if it goes in you, it's going to begin corroding your nervous system, and you're going to go into shutdown mode, and you're going to get fevers, and you're not going to be able, you're going to be in the bed, and you're going to be all sore, and the doctor might diagnose you, say that you have the flu, or say that you have, something else, something that's, some sort of sickness, and that's what it is. It's that bleach corroding all your nervous systems and making your body feel all sore, and you can't go anywhere, and you feel you're all weak and you can't hardly move. It's if your whole body's bruised. Well, that's what's happening. Your body's being corroded from the inside, being destroyed by the bleach, and you're getting a clogged nose, a blocked nose or whatever, and you can't breathe, and you only breathe through one nostril. Ever since I quit that, I've never ever had a blocked nostril. I've never. They're both always clear. I always breathe through them, always. So, think about that one too. There's some benefits to think about if you're gonna go off that, if you're gonna quit that. But don't quit having rice if you're eating it, alright? In such respect to the sugar. Don't think it's the same thing as the sugar, because it's not. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Rice is food, and wheat too. Wheat is food. I quit eating wheat because I found the wheat it doesn't digest properly. It's not for people food. It's not food for it doesn't digest properly. The only thing I'll try if I was going to try it again is rolled wheat, or rolled rolled sort of wheat. Rye wouldn't go. There's probably not enough rye to go, and maybe rice for an animal or something. But yeah, but even so, I'm not keen on going to try it. I'm not keen. In a way I am, because I notice good energies off wheat. You have a little bit of wheat will get you a long way, will get you places. Like, it gives you a lot of energy to go around, to travel around, to get around. But as terms of digestion, just goes in one end, wants to come straight out the other. But bread is not that way though. You're probably saying, oh, it doesn't happen to you. It doesn't happen to me. It doesn't happen to you. But you've probably never had the grain before. You've never eaten from the grain in respect to the wheat. You've always been having bread. You see, I quit eating bread because bread has all these other ingredients in it. Okay, they put all the fake minerals in it and the yeast in it, and they put bicarb soda in it, and there's all these things put, and it's not a one raw ingredient, if you know what I mean. See, the only ingredients that I have are raw ingredients. Like I prepare it from raw. Like, for example, I cook the rice. Rice is a raw ingredient. I cook the rice. The chicken is a raw ingredient to start off with. I cook the chicken, right? So these ingredients are raw ingredients to begin with. You might put a bit of lettuce in with it, just a little vegetable or whatever, but the raw ingredients. I don't go to purchase bread that's been put together by all these fucking foreign things. You don't know where it's come from, and I'm not gonna get out the flour at home and start kneading and then make the dough and then put it in the oven and make the bread. I mean, what am I going to do with it? Anyway, eat it raw. Am I going to eat the bread raw without, after it's cooked, without putting anything on it? And if it is, what am I going to put on it? Like people say, oh, you put butter, you don't put margarine, but butter is from the milk from the dairy from the cow, which it's not for people. It's cow's food. I'm not going to eat a food that's meant for a cow. Why are you going to steal a milk from the calf? It's its food. It's going to be asking where its milk is. Why should you get it for? Why should you be permitted to go and steal that animal's fucking food? That's not yours. And you wonder why, things get stolen. You want to ask the question why people are stealing things? Because that's what they're having. And thus it gets them in the mode to steal, because they're eating of that which is stolen. So they're always going around stealing these things, right? So, don't go there, right? What else? What would you have the bread for to have on it? I mean, would you you know what? Would you put the honey on it? Would you just eat it with that? Sounds all sounds all right. If but what ingredients are going to be in the bread? You know, is it safe to put those ingredients to for the yeast? Does it have to be, or does it have to be like damper, like fucking just wheat and water? Is it going to taste all right? What's it going to you know? Anyway, I noticed the bread didn't really digest that quickly. And I mostly ate a lot of toast before, but yeah, the wheat grain, it takes forever to cook, and it goes in one end, it comes straight out the other, and no good. Oats, yeah, maybe oats, but yeah, again, in one end, straight out the other. Began eating food cool now at room temperature, so I found that hot food doesn't digest as quickly. It slowly digests, and it's as if it stays in the intestines for longer because it's hot. So I don't go there because I don't like to feel that hot food. I like my food to always be at one temperature. And in eating of the food, of the cool food, you be cool. You be um, at that cool temperature. You're not going to lose your temper, or maybe you might if it's the wrong food that's gone in. But